That is a case that's haunted Palm Beach County for more than 4 decades. 8-year-old Christy Luna vanished in Greenacres, just steps away from her home. Her body was never found, and no one knows what happened. But a new podcast thrusts the case back into the spotlight, and there may be a new person of interest. Our Katie Benty has walked us through Christy's last known steps and the latest efforts to solve the mystery and deliver justice. You can watch her entire story in a separate video that you see on your screen right now. We've linked it in the show notes below. We want to take the time, though, to sit down here with Katie and talk a little bit about how the people touched by this tragedy and sort of what they're going through right now. Katie, let's start by, what do we know happened to Christy Luna?
Oh my gosh, I mean, this was just horrific to hear. So little Christy Luna, 8 years old, she goes, it's the middle of the day, Memorial Day weekend, Sunday afternoon in Greenacres. She goes walking down to the corner store. Now, to put into perspective, it's 2 blocks.
Right down the street. 400
feet away.
Oh my gosh.
Walking down in her little jumpsuit, barefoot, to go pick up some cat food for her little newborn kittens. We know that she made it to the corner store. We know that she went in. She bought the cat food. A clerk saw her there. She walked out. The last person who can place her anywhere is right outside. One of her friends and she was watching them play with fireworks. Okay. Right outside the corner store, and then gone.
Somewhere in those 2 blocks.
Somewhere in those 2 blocks.
Okay, so there's been an investigator that's been working decades and decades on this one case, and sort of right immediately afterwards, there were some suspects that, let's be honest, they seemed to be pretty good-looking suspects at the time in terms of people who had some seedy backstories.
This was really crazy. So at the time, you have to think 1984, we weren't necessarily tracking sex offenders at the time. This was seen as a very safe neighborhood, but what we've learned throughout the years is there were a lot of soon-to-be convicted sex offenders, predators on her block, like right there in her neighborhood. And so, as you were mentioning, there were a lot of potential suspects. We have the Rambo brothers, who were accused of molesting one of Christy's little friends, who was 6 years old. After she went missing, they went interviewing everyone, and they found that at least Charles Rambo was convicted of molesting this little girl. We have Victor Wanyeti, who was being investigated for a similar missing child in another state, who also was in town at the time. We have Bill Ferris, also lived there at the time. He made some questionable comments saying, one of those little girls are going to go missing one day and nobody's ever going to find her. All of these really, incredible leads, incredible suspects that were never charged. They were never directly connected to little Christy Luna's disappearance.
Always that one key piece of evidence, just so close but so far away, right? So now here we are. There's this new podcast shedding some new light, and at least a new person of interest who seems a little flimsy, but at least is keeping this whole case alive.
I think something about this cold case that really has struck me is, you think 41 years, and we do hear about cold cases all the time, but this one is still alive. Like, this is still something that detectives are actively looking into. You have Christy's old childhood friends who have created this Facebook page to keep her story alive, to keep people remembering. And we obviously have that new podcast, The Deck, which I'm not sure if you know the playing cards. This was a whole project to try to spark memories in inmates. So these cards go around jails for them to play, and she's the 4 of spades.
Right, so it's got her picture on it and a little description. And the idea, I think, too, is, I think people are there in jail, they're there in prison, and maybe they're talking about this and that, and you see, the 4 of spades, this story about this girl, this guy, he was talking about that, maybe that leads to, and anyway, there's a podcast based on The Deck.
Yes, there's a
called
podcast. It's honestly very incredible. If anyone wants to go listen to it, it was really interesting to hear. But they're keeping her story alive. She's now being talked about, and the investigator, same investigator from 41 years ago, by the way, Detective Springer, he's incredible, and he's so dedicated. He's following any in every lead. I mean, they dug up the septic tank a couple of years ago. This new lead is a little, it's a person of interest. It's not a suspect.
Right.
His name's Jerry Bailey. He is a convicted sex offender in Michigan. His parole officer had allegedly found a photo of Christy, her little missing persons photo, apparently downloaded from the dark web on Jerry's phone. And it was enough of a suspicion for Detective Springer to fly out to Michigan and interview him. But there hasn't been any tie to Palm Beach County. The closest they can put him is Gainesville, but they're still trying to see if maybe anyone else can put him here in Palm Beach County. Maybe he was here. Maybe he, maybe nobody had heard he was here, but it takes one person. It takes one tip. I mean, people are fighting for answers. And her mom.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. Before we end this, we got to talk about her mom, who has cancer, and this is like the one thing that she wants is to get those answers.
I mean, you have to think, Jennie Johnson, her little girl went missing.
Yeah.
41
years ago.
41 years of just hoping. I think you, as a parent, want to try. She has a sister, and so you want to try to live for your other daughter. But I can't even really put myself in her shoes. She now is diagnosed with leukemia. From what we hear, she's not doing well. Just being able to have some sense of closure, a little bit of peace, I think would do wonders for her and for her family and for Christy's sister. I just can't even put myself in her shoes. So there's a need to solve this case yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Well, and you can certainly tell that you spoke to those two friends that have the Facebook page for the story, and you can certainly hear that in their voice. I mean, this happened 41 years ago, and to them, it might as well have happened yesterday.
I mean, it's the pain interviewing them and speaking with them. I felt it. It was emotional because they want to know what happened to their little friend.
Right.
I mean, you're a little kid. You just become so close, and they also had their own experiences with the Rambo brothers, and so they have beliefs as to maybe these men need to be investigated more. They're very adamant on making sure Christy Luna is never forgotten. Somebody needs to always be checking. It's all word of mouth, but it really is that one little piece that could solve this 4-decade-long mystery. Yeah.
And that's why you need to watch this story on Christy Luna. Again, right now you can watch Katie's reporting. Watch the full story right now. It's on your screen. Click on the link right there, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.